Hey guys, welcome back. It's a beautiful day. I've got out here this morning and kind of peddling on this 1998 Super Sport Camaro that I bought. Let's see, what's the day? Saturday. I think I bought it Thursday evening. Been a lot of swapping around with me here lately. I've sold 2%. I've sold Clifford. I bought a Monte Carlo, sold it to a friend of mine. As a matter of fact, if you know the Monte Carlo that Doc just built on Street Outlaws, that was his car. He sold it to Doc, and he started wanting another one back, and he bought mine. That was a really good car. I should have piddled with it, but that's all right. On to the next one. That's what I've always said. I got to wanting an LS car, GTO specifically. I like the way the GTO set a little better than the Camaros and the Firebirds. The Pontiac, the G8s or G9s. I think it's a G8. I don't know. I hadn't never fooled with those cars. Never owned one, but I have had some GTOs. Had some Camaros. I think I've had I don't know if I've had a LS Firebird or not. Trans Am, whatever. They got a Formula and a Trans Am, but some of the Firebird guys or Trans Am guys sort of lose their mind when you call a Trans Am a Firebird, but subsequently it is a Firebird. So anyway, I know I've had some LT1 cars as well. I don't like an LT1. I'm just not a fan of them. They've been nothing but trouble. I hate the OptiSpark setup. You can do a coil conversion, an LS coil conversion on an LT1, and they're pretty good motors. They make really good power. As far as compared to the LSs, I just like the LS better. Anyway, a little bit about the car. It came out of Colorado. This car's got 66,000 miles and some change on it, almost 67,000 miles. I found the car. It was local to me. It was in Athens, Tennessee. He moved from Colorado in 2020 and moved to Athens, Tennessee, and brought this car with him. So the car spent the majority of its life in Colorado. I run a Carfax on it to make sure the mileage was correct, and it's showing to be correct. And it was registered in Athens in 2020. He said when he came down here, he, of course, needed a new tag. So, I don't know, maybe it was here a little bit prior to 2020 until his tags ran out. I've not done a lot to it. I've changed the oil. It needed a driver's side window motor. It was bad. He actually bought a window motor about a year ago and just never got around to putting it in. It had some old ugly stickers that I didn't like. Had one here, said Chevrolet Racing, and it had a bow tie back here. To each their own. They sort of just drove the car to little cruise-ins and stuff. I'm not sure who put the stickers on it. It doesn't matter. They're gone now. I took of course, it had a plate for a tag up here on the front, and I filled the holes in and painted the grill. What else did I do this thing? I've done something else. Can't really remember. Oh, I polished the headlights back out. They were kind of yellowed. Just little things, little odds and ends. I had to clean it up good. Clean your cars out. If you buy an old car, clean it out. I've learned that over the years, and I usually go through them, just kind of, pick the seats up, whatever, especially me being in law enforcement. I'm real antsy about doing that. You never know who all's had these cars, who all they've been through. Between the person you got it from and you, who knows, prior to them who had it. So I didn't really find anything in this car. Thank God. I took the back seats out, cleaned everything up. The Monte Carlo, however, I told you in the video, the radio didn't work. Well, I got the radio working. The reason the radio wasn't working is the cassette tape deck was engaged. And what was engaging it was a dollar bill that had meth inside of it. Somebody had shoved that into the cassette player, probably getting pulled over or something. So, and I know the girl that I got the car from did not do drugs. Really good girl, in school, had a good head on her shoulders. No telling who all drove that car around with that stuffed in the cassette player. And if they would have gotten pulled over, it was a felony amount of meth. So be careful. Make sure you look if you're buying stuff like this, especially from people you don't know. Again, not getting down on them. A lot of people smoke marijuana. That's fine. I don't care. I don't get down on people for that. It's illegal. I have had to arrest people for it, but again, to each their own. As long as you keep it out of my face, I don't care what you do. However, it's still illegal, and trying to have the car here in Tennessee. Now, some of you guys watching me, it may not be illegal where you're at, but it is still illegal here in Tennessee. I think it'll be legal before too long, more than likely. Again, I don't smoke it. Can't smoke it even if it was legal. I couldn't do it because of where I work, and I wouldn't do it anyway. So enough of that. Again, don't want to get in a debate over marijuana. All I'm trying to tell you is check your vehicles for illegal substances. You never know. Somebody, you know, who knows? Maybe you've got a car like this, you've picked somebody up, or it's a friend of a friend, they're in the back seat, you get pulled over and they stuff something down in your seat. You don't even know it. You know, you may not have ever known, and it's just rode back there all that time. So again, just check your vehicles. Let me know what you think about this car. I've been wanting another one. I'm tickled to death to have this one. It is very hard to find one that hasn't had a big cam in it, stall converters. Of course, this one's a 6-speed car. That was a big seller to me. I was looking at a GTO, the same color, absolutely gorgeous car. It's an 06 model. It had 170,000 miles. The miles were a little high for me, but it was a good car. It had just been drove, but it had been taken care of. So, you know, I'd rather have one with a little higher miles that's been took care of as one with lower miles that's been beat to death, if that makes any sense. But again, just real tickled to have this one. This car's been owned by 2 older gentlemen and another guy on the Carfax. I don't know him. The only reason I'm saying I know the other owner is because this owner told me about him. So I'm just going on his word. But seems like a real good car. Of course, it's, you know, this car's 24 years old now, almost 25. I'm sure it's had a little paint work done. I don't know where. You know, maybe on the hood it kind of looks like maybe it's had a little paint work done there. Don't know for sure. I hadn't even noticed it, and Tim Dixon came by earlier, and he noticed it and kind of pointed it out, but I can't really tell. It's hard to tell, you know. You kind of really got to get down there and look, but I don't care. It's my car. I like it. So the shifter boot has got a little plastic ring around it that I actually broke a while ago cleaning the interior, so I was a little mad at myself for that, but I'll get one. This part here, where the window switches go in, is broke, but now I've ordered a new one. Now I ordered a GM one. I wanted to order a good part. You know, the aftermarket's probably just as good for something like that, but the aftermarket was $50. The GM was right around $100. Stupid me. Got up against that van there just a little bit. Didn't hurt nothing, but just a super clean car. It runs out good. It drives good. These cars are pretty good on fuel, you know, as long as they haven't been fooled with, and they're reliable. You know, I can jump in this car, I feel like I could, and go anywhere. Now, of course, again, it's, you know, the car's 24 years old, going on 25, so you know, I'm sure it's going to have little issues here and there. That's okay. I plan on hanging on to this one for a little while. I don't, you know, of course, you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. I may get mad at it and send it down the road, but for right now, I'm planning on keeping it. I wanted to find one that I could keep. That's why I was looking for something like this, something that hasn't been monkeyed with or fooled with too much. Now, maybe later on, if this motor gives any issues, like a lifter or something, maybe I'll go ahead and put a cam and stuff in it. I don't know. I'd rather not. I hope it just holds together just like it is, and I don't have any issues. So we'll see. Got the motor for Tim Dixon's van. He dropped it off just a few moments ago, and it's all there. I hope. I'm sure we're going to run into a few little issues. All the front assemblies there. I believe the manifolds are the same. We may use the manifolds off Tim's old motor. He was going to go ahead and take it, but we decided just to wait till we get it done. I don't think we're going to deal with the air conditioning right now. We're going to put that on the back burner. This is just an old setup. The hoses clamp on. It's aftermarket air. This is not original to the van. So we're not doing anything by deleting it. We're just taking off something that somebody else put on it. And they've stuck the evaporator kind of in a janky place. So we're going to reevaluate with the air conditioning. But for right now, got to put new motor mounts in it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get in here while I can. Little stuff like that fuel hose, heck of a lot easier to change that right now with the motor out. Maybe even these brake hoses. I'm sure I'm going to have to put brake hoses on it. Power steering lines, I'm hoping those are good. Who knows, you know, maybe we'll get new ones. Master cylinder, probably a brake booster. Of course, all the brakes, calipers, rotors, wheel bearings, wheel cylinders, hardware kit, shoes in the back. Just everything. You about have to mechanically restore something like this. In all honesty, if you want something that's good and dependable, that's basically what we're going to do with this van. We're going to touch everything mechanical on it and make sure it's good to go. Now, the motor's old, but it was a running, driving motor, so we know that motor's good. That is great, because I'm telling you, I've took chances on motors, and it sort of sucks when you go through all that trouble cleaning one up, painting it, and then you shove it down the truck or car or van's throat and then start it up, and it's something's wanting out of the oil pan. You know, it really sucks. It's disheartening, it's sickening. So we know this motor ran good. I don't have to put it on the stand and start it. Tim had a video of it running. He might have even seen it running. So basically same thing we always do. Clean it up, drop the oil pan, pull the manifolds off, jerk the intake off, the valve covers, all this front assembly, clean everything up, paint it, put it all back together, stick it right in that van. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and jerk that torque converter out, take a little light, see if I can see the converter bushing inside of the transmission. Hopefully it's good. I don't believe the transmission was leaking any, and it had fluid in it, because when I took the motor out, we pulled this 8-foot dipstick out of it. Man, that's a heck of a dipstick, ain't it? But anyways, it popped out, fluid poured out of it. Fluid looked okay. Hopefully it's good. Now, a lot of these transmissions, when you put the drums together, Lord, I can't think of what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the drums that has your frictions and steels in it, the tolerances are pretty tight, and you have to pre-soak those frictions. And over time, with that transmission not moving, that stuff will just kind of weep out back into the pan. Sometimes you get lucky and you can get some fluid back up our to them. Of course, there's a little bit of clearance between them, but not a lot. So it takes a little bit, you know, when the frictions are kind of stuck to the steels, it takes a little while for them to kind of separate and get fluid in between them again. So hopefully the transmission works out. Again, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So we'll see. But worst case, you know, hey, we'll pull the transmission out. It wouldn't be the first one. I'm also going to try to pop this dent out. I think I've done another video. I don't know that I posted it. Sometimes I do these videos and I get busy and I forget to post them, and then I do another one. So if I've already mentioned this, forgive me. I apologize. But again, cool old van. I've got a love-hate relationship with these vans. I really like them. They're kind of cool, but I hate to work on them. And most people do. So that's why it's here, I think. But that's okay. I like a good challenge, and this is definitely going to be one. I'm going to get the motor cleaned up. I'm going to try to roll this van outside and spray some super clean, just spray it everywhere and wash all this out. All this old grime and stuff that's built up just makes it easier to work. I hate working with a bunch of nasty, greasy crap. So anyway, we're going to clean all that up. Clean all this garbage up a little bit. I've got some wire loom, kind of like this. Maybe I can stick some of this. This is aftermarket cruise control. I'm going to try to hook that back up. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, all right, guys, there's the van. Here's this car. Again, I really like it. I'm not done with square bodies. I've had a few people ask me, what's wrong with you? You done with these square bodies? I'm not done with them. I love these LS cars. I always have. I fooled with them for, you know, a lot of years. Had a few of them. I say I fooled with them. I don't know. I always just bought them and drove them. Didn't have to fool with them a whole lot. They're just good cars. And like I said, I think this one's a keeper. I really do. The only thing I might do later on, the 98 model had this grill. It just said Camaro. It was the same grill as like the 6-cylinder cars, I believe, I think. And I'd like to have the grill that says SS, like in the 02 model. I don't know what year they changed that grill, but anyway, it is what it is. Shut that hood down. Let y'all kind of see the SS hood. But anyways, just a good, fun, tight car. It's got one little stupid squeak, kind of drives me crazy, but I'll get that figured out. Just ain't had time. I got to get in the house, guys, get cleaned up, get a shower, and take my little girl to the pumpkin patch. She's excited about that, and if she's excited, then I am. So it's time to shut the doors on this stuff. I'll get back to it in a little bit. Maybe I'll do another video later this evening. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch you on the next one.